Good morning. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. My name is Reverend Christine Boylan, and it is wonderful to see some great people in our sanctuary. Actually, everyone's great. To see people, here they go, and they know it. They know they're great. It's wonderful to see people in our sanctuary and to also know that there are so many people watching us on Facebook and on our website. We are grateful for all of you being with us. And of course, with me today is our music director, Carolyn Fisher, our prayer chaplain, ministry leader, Deborah Giddings, our worship assistant, Catherine Ewing, our live stream team, Jim Mahoney, Angela Simidon, Tony Bensko, and Marty Espinola. And thank you to our greeters, Lois and Lee, our prayer chaplains, Lee and Marie, our ambassador, Donna, our ushers, Wendy, and our coffee barista, Donna. She's doing double duty today. Yay. And although we are filming live stream, please don't let that affect your experience in the sanctuary. Feel free to get up, walk around, leave, come back, clap, applaud, call out a response, talk back to me, whatever. I think at this point we all know that singing is not yet permitted here in the sanctuary, except, of course, by Carolyn. And the board is strongly suggesting that you wear a mask inside the church building, even if you are vaccinated. And if you are not fully vaccinated, whether you're an adult or a child, you're required to wear a mask inside the church and on anywhere on the church property. Now, yesterday we had our first ever Unity Spirit Camp, and woohoo, it was wonderful. We had about 26, 28 people attending, and we had lots of different things going on, activities. I put the activities list, timing and everything, out on the bulletin board in the atrium, and there's also some handouts that we had yesterday. So you can go see what you missed if you weren't here. And there's also lots of people to thank. Certainly our board of trustees, Lee Dittman, Angela Simidon, Sandra Dickerson, Sue Smallage, Wendy Billings, and Christine Kiley. Also, there were some wonderful people who really stepped out in addition to the board, and that's Katra Hodis, also Donna Marshall, Rob Morehouse, Marty Espinola, and two very special presentations, one by Tim Mahoney and the other by the wonderful, incomparable Marie Manu. Woohoo! But I also want to, and I would be remiss if I did not give special thanks to two people when I said, I think we should do a spirit camp. Both of them jumped up and down and provided lots of other ideas and details and organization, and of course, my two sidekicks, Deborah Giddings and Tony Bensko. So thank you. Run straight to me because it will be fun. So today we handed out a Sunday bulletin to those in the sanctuary. I'm going to ask if you got one. Please make sure you take it with you when you leave, or else I'm going to have to clean house afterwards. And I prefer not to have to do that. If you're watching online, you may obtain today's bulletin from our website, unityhartford.org. It's right after all the talk about today's service. So let's do this. Let's affirm what we know about unity, and that's on your bulletin, the welcome affirmation. Let's say that together. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Yes, that's true. And here at Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. So welcome to all of you this morning, those in the sanctuary, as well as those watching on our website, and certainly those on our Facebook. You have a decided advantage. And I'm going to encourage you to do this if you're watching on Facebook, to talk to each other, greet each other, say good morning, how you doing? And also, of course, send up those fabulous emojis. So let's get together and pray. Let's pray this morning. So just take a moment to become still as Donna closes our sanctuary doors. And this morning, we pray affirming that we are powerful beings. We are spiritual beings creating and experiencing this very human life. And because of that, we know that we have the power, the strength, the faith, all that we need to release and let go. And as we release and let go, we make room for all the good that we desire, that we want, all the good in our lives. We make room and see that pouring into our lives right now. And so we take just a moment in silence, becoming aware, rising up in consciousness, and knowing exactly what is ready to be released in our lives. And we breathe and we know. We release, we let go, and as we do, we are ready to embrace, to receive all our good, all the good that we desire, that we want. And so we embrace that good right now, and we are grateful. So we take a moment to just silently say to yourself, I am grateful. And so it is. Amen. Amen. And now, Catherine, if you would like to come and tell us some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good to just drop in, doesn't it, for a moment into the silence and be in that place of gratitude. So it's in that place of gratitude that I share the stuff, the announcements with you. So Unity World Day of Prayer will take place this September, on September 8th. And here at Unity of Greater Hartford, we will have a service here in the sanctuary at 6:30 that evening. And that will run just long enough so that there's time to be complete for the Unity National program that will begin at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, remember September 8th here in the sanctuary at 6:30, and then Unity National at 8 p.m. On Friday evening, September 10th, beginning at 6:30, there's going to be a Zoom workshop. This is actually interactive. It's kind of fun. It'll be Unity of Greater Hartford and the Unity Church of Christ, which is one of the Unity churches in New Jersey. And so it'll be a cooperative offering between the two churches. And they will be coming together to explore and experience how to create the life we desire and deserve. Don't we all want that, right? So that will be, again, on Friday evening, September 10th. There is a $20 investment, and you will need to pre-register online at the Unity of Greater Hartford website. You can click to donate and then click on the classes and sign up for how to get what you want in life. And we will be holding our annual church picnic this year on Sunday, September 26th at Nevers Park, which is the same place we hold it every year. And that will immediately follow the Sunday service. So does that mean it's going to be a little earlier this year since the service tends to be a little shorter?
We will, and we'll be going to a new location too.
Oh,
It's still in Nevers Park, but it's.
okay. Well, it will be at Nevers Park, but location to be determined, to be details to follow, that's what I will say. So keep your eyes and ears open for more information about the annual church picnic at Nevers Park. And then, good news, we have a Unity band. It's coming and it will start next week, and you're it. Whether you came to the auditions or not important. Just bring anything that you have to make music with. Your kazoo, no kazoos. Oh, though, we gotta blow into those. We can't do the kazoos. All right. Percussion instruments, drums, bells, triangles, cymbals. I might bring my bowl or my tingshaws to become part of the Unity band. So that will be fun, starting next Sunday. And now, that's it for the announcements, and we will move to Carolyn for the opening song. And what will you be providing for us this morning?
So today is all about releasing and letting go. So that's what I'm going to sing. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you for rocking out to get us started, Carolyn. And now, as we do every Sunday, we will say our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotence. Amen. And now for today's daily word. Today's daily word is joy, and the affirmation is, I say yes to the joy that invites me in this moment. Joy is the call of my heart. Whether I am at work or at play, I bring a spirit of joyfulness to everything I do. More than a mood or an attitude, joy is part of me and mine to live and to share. Like all aspects of my divine identity, joy flows in my consciousness when I hold joyful thoughts and feelings. I express my joy as the excitement of anticipation, fascination at a new discovery, deep satisfaction in a relationship, and the tranquil glow from communing with God in prayer. My joy is contagious, and I love to share it. I have feelings of joy when I take part in friends or family members' joyous moments, their celebrations and their accomplishments. I feel quiet joy when I offer encouragement and even when I give comfort, grateful to share the care and love of God. Rejoice always, 1 Thessalonians 5:16.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, today we're going to delve into the third spiritual law of prosperity, outlined in the book by Reverend Edwin Gaines called The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. And the third law is about forgiveness. But before we get to the third law, let's review the first and second laws. And if you didn't see those two services, you can always go to our website and watch them and catch up with us. So the first law is about giving. Remember, the phrase is giving and receiving. So giving always precedes receiving. So here we are talking about a spiritual law that will join together our physical and spiritual worlds and kind of decreasing that conflict or sense of duality. So the author asks us to make a 6-month commitment to consistently tithe or select an amount to give each week to that which spiritually feeds you. And when you do, give cheerfully and freely. You're also going to cheerfully and freely affirm that the divine or God, or whatever word you use, is the one and only true source of all the good in your life. And I hope you have joined with me and others to practice this at least until the end of the year, till the end of December, and then we can check in and see how our lives might be doing. The second law is about receiving. I call this dream catching. We are giving, but we are also now ready to receive. Reverend Gaines suggested that we create a list of goals with timelines and actions we might need to take. Visualization, affirming, and even doing some practical actions we might need to take. Like for me, if I'm going to go to Venice, I got to get cracking on that Italian. So we need to be very clear, because what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness, right? So if you're ready to be a catcher of your dreams, then you will be required, sorry to say this, but you're going to be required to step out of your comfort zone, and not just with one toe, but both feet. And last Sunday, I gave you a physical exercise to do each morning, and just in case you forgot, we're doing it again. So everyone stand up. And in a moment, I'm going to count to 3, and when I do, you're going to have several options. Okay, so you get to choose. You can jump up on both feet, okay? You can hang onto the pew if you need to, or if that's not possible, then you could raise your both arms, okay? Of course, you can do both if you're really into that, or capable, I should say. And if you're not able to do either, you can shout out jump, all right? So I'm going to count to 3, and then we're going to do this, all righty? 1, 2, 3, jump. Very good. You got both feet out of your comfort zone. Please take a seat. Now we're ready. We're ready for the third spiritual law of prosperity. Forgiveness, yes. But what is forgiveness? No, actually, it's better to say what is not forgiveness. Okay. Forgiveness is not reconciliation. No. Nor is it something you hand out like candy. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's about releasing the emotions. It can involve other people, but it doesn't need to, and quite frankly, sometimes it's just not safe to deal directly with the person involved in a difficult situation. Forgiveness is all about you. Yep, it's all about you. There's a Hindu sacred poem, the Bhagavad Gita, which states, if you want to see the brave, look at those who can forgive. I have read many amazing stories of forgiveness. Perhaps you have too. One I recently read was about a man whose loved one was brutally murdered. And when he identified the body, he recited the Lord's Prayer. He said when he came to the sentence, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us," he didn't even hesitate. Instead, when he was done, he turned to the sheriff and said, "Whoever did this, I forgive them." I was astounded. And I almost didn't believe either the story or the person. Good heavens, I can barely forgive someone who cuts me off at traffic, you know. Nevertheless, I read on, and then he acknowledged that it's a struggle to overcome the feelings of bitterness and revenge. They certainly well up, especially when he remembers an important shared date or event. He said, forgiveness is never going to be easy. Each day it must be prayed for and struggled for and hopefully won. Well, I do believe that you can truly forgive. I also believe it is a process, not an event. Sometimes the process can be just several days. Sometimes it can be a lifetime. In some ways, it's like peeling an onion. You just keep peeling and often with tears. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It's a permanent attitude." So let's look at and see how Reverend Gaines puts together forgiveness and prosperity. She wrote that harboring a grudge or an unforgiveness completely blocks out our ability to have peace of mind. And why is that important? Well, it's only when our mind and our hearts are peaceful that we can truly be open and receptive to our good, our divine ideas. And yet, many people find forgiveness as difficult as tithing, and sometimes even more difficult. Just like being a cheerful giver, we must also learn to forgive freely, joyfully, and completely. In some situations, it's very clear that forgiveness is needed, others not so clear. We all might be familiar with the 5 unity principles. In fact, they're right there. The author of the book wrote an article the author of the book, 5 Unity Principles, wrote an article suggesting a 6th principle. And Reverend Gaines also mentions it in her book. It's called Mind Your Own Business. And if we were to put that into action, we would then also stop a lot of the judging and blaming. And perhaps if there is a disease more rampant and insidious than COVID, it just might be judging others and laying blame. Watch yourself during the day. How often do you judge others or blame others or blame machines? And what is the harm? They don't know that you're blaming them, perhaps. Maybe they do, but oftentimes they don't. The harm is to you. You are inflicting harm on yourself. And then you need to forgive you. As you give, so shall you receive. Reverend Gaines writes, on our spiritual journey towards prosperity, we are aspiring to a forgiveness that is so deep, full, and complete that no traces of any bad feeling at all will remain. This is a type of giving so that we may more fully receive, so that we can become professional dream catchers. Unity author Imelda Shanklin, in her book Selected Studies, wrote, forgiveness is a unification of the soul with our God, comparable to the raindrops reception by the sea. Yeah. Reverend Gaines quotes prosperity author Catherine Ponder. An uplifted mind is a magnet for all good things of the universe to hasten to you, whereas a critical, resentful, unforgiving state of mind becomes a magnet for trouble to fly right to you. The choice is up to you. I love that Reverend Gaines is very practical and direct, especially about prosperity issues. She states that you must get clear and honest. Remember, forgiveness is not something that just happens. No, it's something that you must will. It's an act of will. You must make yourself do it. And guess what? You're going to feel some resistance. Get ready for that feeling, and then deny that it has any power. So when someone asked her, "Don't I have a right to my anger?" The very practical and direct Reverend Gaines responded, "Yes, you do. But you also have a right to take a screwdriver and stick it into an active electrical outlet." And if you think for just one moment that Reverend Gaines doesn't understand, you would be wrong. She has experienced some horrific hurts very early in her life, and then also as an adult. She is very well qualified to speak on this subject. In her book, she advises us to develop a forgiveness practice. Well, really, a daily forgiveness practice. She relates it to housekeeping. If you do a bit every day, it's much easier to keep up with all the dirt and dust. So her daily forgiveness practice. Every night she asks, "Who have I put outside of my heart today? Who have I put outside of my heart today?" She takes time to forgive herself for these unconscious moments, and then to release her need to control others' behaviors. This finally worked when she came to the realization that how others act, drive, speak, dress, spend, vote, and generally behave is none of her business. So every night she identifies where forgiveness is needed, and she takes time to invite these people back into her heart space and forgive both them and her, and then make a commitment once again to be more aware and awake. So here are 2 other forgiveness tips. The use of powerful affirmations. The key here is to create affirmations that claim what you want to be true, as if they already are. She lists several in her book, but here are 2 you might use. I forgive everyone who did not give me the love and attention I desired. I forgive everyone who did not give me the love and attention I desired. And another one, I forgive my parents completely. Yeah, I forgive my parents completely. So you might want to consider adding these affirmations to your daily forgiveness practice or create your own. Another idea she had was an annual forgiveness inventory and cleaning. So remember, if you do it every night, the annual may not be that difficult. Okay? So she says at least once a year, she sets aside a day to face herself and her past. Now, obviously, you need a quiet and comfortable place to do this. She mentally goes through her whole life, as far back as she can remember, to see if she has overlooked or forgotten or neglected to forgive someone, even herself. She starts with her earliest memories and works her way up to her teenage years, and then young adulthood, and then into the present. She says sometimes it takes her a whole day Personally, I was glad to hear that she didn't do this forgiveness stuff once and then was all done. That has almost never been my experience. Even if at the time I think I'm all done. Later, my anger, my resentment, my victimhood pops up again. Pops out of nowhere. And I find that an old situation needs more forgiveness work. I start peeling that onion. And to be very honest, there are also some situations and people that I'm not really ready to forgive and release. I know that I will eventually get there, and when I do, it will be authentic and lasting. So I forgive myself now knowing that the time will come when I can fully forgive and release. Her final forgiveness tip is to affirm and claim an understanding heart, just like King Solomon did in the Hebrew Bible, the first book of Kings, chapter 3. Right there in that story, just like right here in your life, the universe is asking, what do you want? Will you answer, look at that stupid person over there? Or, why is this happening to poor me? Or, why do they have more than I have? No. King Solomon, he answered, give thy servant an understanding heart. Now, why did he ask this? Well, he sought to have the wisdom and strength to not blame anyone for anything, including himself. And if he would fall, if he would fail in that effort, he would then have an understanding heart to help him forgive everyone, including himself. And the universe responded, metaphysically, of course, because you asked for an understanding heart, not only will I give you that, but I will give you riches and honors as well. So today, let's make forgiveness a daily practice. And let us claim an understanding heart, just like King Solomon did when he replied, give thy servant an understanding heart. And so, in fact, let's say this together, but we're going to do it with a slight alteration. We're going to say, give me thy servant an understanding heart. We're going to say, give me thy servant an understanding heart. And we're going to say it as though we really meant it. Okay? As though you really meant it down to your toes. Give me thy servant an understanding heart. And so let's say this together. Give me thy servant an understanding heart. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Christine. And now it's the time in our service where we get to express and experience our abundance. It's an exciting time. And we do this in a couple of ways. You can do it tangibly by going, if you're online, you can go to our website at unityhartford.org and click on the donate button and make a tangible gift. If you're here in the sanctuary, there is a giving box out in the atrium where you can leave cash or checks. Remember that any donations made with credit card must be done online. And we appreciate those donations. Those gifts and offerings, we know they come from love and are surrounded in love. And they are used right here in this church to keep these doors open, the lights on. Reverend Christine, we want to keep her. And so we thank you for that. But we also invite you to take an intangible offering, something that you would like more of in your life. What is it that you, think of a word of something that you would like more of in your life, and put that into your heart. Because we know that when that comes into your heart, it will be expressed out into the universe. And I invite you to take both those tangible and intangible offerings and join me in blessing them. Remember, blessing creates more of. It's a magnification. And we're going to say our offering blessing together with passion. Divine love flowing as me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. And so it is. Amen. And I invite you now, if you're able or want to stand up. And we're going to bless each other with something called the Gandhi blessing, which is a call and response. And so I invite you to take a look around to the people in the sanctuary. If you're at home, if you have people around you, take a look around and put them into your heart space. As I call out and you're going to respond, I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. And so it is. Thank you. Carolyn is now going to sing the Unity Peace song while we listen, and then we will have the prayer for protection followed by a final song by Carolyn.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, Carolyn. And now, if you would please join me in saying our prayer for protection out loud. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Thank you, Catherine. Now, don't forget, next Sunday, you, the Unity Band, will be here with your percussion instruments, drums, bells. Hey, I'm warming up my triangle all week. I am going to be ready. So I'd like to thank Deborah Giddings today and all our prayer chaplains for holding sacred space for all of us, holding us all in prayer. And thank you to our two prayer chaplains who are here today to pray with you, and they are Lee and Marie. If you would stand up, so we know who you are. There we are. And so if you would desire to have one-on-one prayer time after the service, and after the service we all move into the community room so that can happen, just come up to one of these ladies and say, I'd like prayer support, and they will be delighted to pray with you. You may also email your request to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org, and all our prayer chaplains will hold your prayer request in confidence, and they will also pray with you. And if you're here in the sanctuary, in the pew in front of you, there's a little holder, and there should be some prayer cards. You can always fill one of them out and put it in the prayer box, which is at the back of the sanctuary.
Great forgiveness tool.
Yeah, yes, it is a great forgiveness tool. Get some support in your forgiveness work. And certainly if anyone would like to chat with me, the minister, just send me an email, revchris@unityhartford.org. And if, just take for a moment, is there anyone here for the first time? If there is, just raise your hand, let us know you're here. Okay. If you're watching online and this is your first time, or you're fairly new to Unity or to this Unity Church, then just send us an email and we would be happy to mail to you a welcome information package. So send that email to officemgr@unityhartford.org. Include your name and your address, and we'll get that packet right out to you. So I also want to thank today's greeters, which was Lois and Lee. Thank you. Our coffee barista, Donna. Our ushers, Wendy, and worship assistant, Catherine. And of course, our live stream team, Jim, Angela, and Tony. And if you would like to be part of the church service brigade, and there's lots of different places to serve. Even if you can't come into the church building itself, if you're at home but you still want to be in service, let me know. We'll talk and find the right and perfect place for you to serve, and of course, to then further your spiritual growth and get you even further along on your spiritual journey. And so finally, many thanks to the wonderful music director, Carolyn Fisher. And Carolyn, what is going to be our closing song today? What are you singing?
Well, I'm singing a song called This Is Me. And Kirk, if you're watching, thank you for the inspiration. He said he wanted to hear the whole movie just played.
And what's the musical that it's?
It's from The Greatest Showman, which is a movie. And yeah. Yes. So thanks, Kirk. I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. We'll fire away, 'cause today I won't let that shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors. glorious. Yeah, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me, And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. Whenever the words want to cut me down, I send the flood to drown them out. Oh, 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 this is me. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. And don't forget to come back and see us on Wednesday nights. You have choices. You can join us here on Facebook at 7 p.m. for our meditation service, or if you wish, you can join us right here in the sanctuary starting at 6:30. And we look forward to seeing you then.